BMW 2014 Derby, the Rock. It's Designs on Rome and Abel Friend fighting it out. Designs on Rome with his head in front. He's edging away, and Designs on Rome wins the Derby by a length.
Rapid Dragon in front from Pakistan Star. The puzzle now complete. Rapid Dragon takes the Derby from Pakistan Star.
Player Del Puente leads. Golden 60's a length away. He's the only danger. Player Del Puente still a length. Golden 60. He's running out of time. He's coming now. Golden 60 drives. He's won it. Golden 60 has joined Rapid Dragon in a thrilling Derby win. 2 horse go, Romantic Warrior, the Spangle lifts, the Warrior comes, Romantic Warrior takes the lead, and Romantic Warrior wins the Derby. Keefy, Voyage Bubble, the Classic Mile winner from 14, and Tuchel on the rail, Voyage Bubble, what a win in the Derby.
It is simply the great race, the Hong Kong Derby. Welcome to the Triple Trio as we look forward to a weekend to savour with the best form analyst in the business in Clint Hutchison and the Hall of Famer in Raymond Shane Dye. Hutch, great memories of the Derby.
I'm excited. Some fantastic winners there. The jewel in the crown this week, and I can't wait for it. We've been building up for weeks. And it's going to be another special year, no doubt. So we've got to get through plenty on this show.
Shane, welcome to the show, mate. So special, the Derby.
It is. It's the best race in Hong Kong that every owner wants to win. And I think it's an interesting Derby this year. Normally 1 or 2 stand out, but I don't think that is the case this year.
Yeah, and we're going to dissect it all. There's issues in regards to the favourite. Is there, isn't there? What do you want to do with him? What sort of market fluctuations will we see on the day? That's going to be another story.
Definitely. Barriers have played a big part. There's a horse in the race, so Helios Express, that can win the Triple Crown, which was won by Rapid Dragon and Golden 60, of course. Can he complete that? He's had some setbacks, plenty to talk about there, and we're going to have Nicole Purton join the show with plenty of input from Hong Kong as well.
Yeah, so lots of interviews to get into a full analysis of the Derby. Plenty of winners as well. Of course, we've got Out of the Gates and we've got Genius or Slaughter, etc. But can we just reflect for a moment? Because on Wednesday night, we were down, we were in the corner, we were on the ropes. At one stage, I was going for oxygen, and then enter the Hutchbuster. He delivered. Check this out.
Courier Magic starting to fly home. Strongest boys in front. Courier Magic's a neck away, charging at him. They hit it. Courier Magic, he's won again. Simacan, hammer on outside of the 318 Palm still there. Lavero lifting Simacan. What a finish, they hit it, Simacan. Colourful Emperor's in front. Wings of War is half a length away from Sugar, but Colourful Emperor won the last. Colourful Emperor.
It was a moment of beauty, my friend.
Look, the lead-up races certainly weren't. We had a tough weekend. We were really down and out, and then it was an ordinary start to Happy Valley. I just want to hope that we can bring that momentum, swing it forward into the Derby, and we'll have a big day. And I can't wait for the Derby this weekend. We're going to catch up and watch it together. So looking forward to that.
Very much looking forward to that. All we need, Shane, the Golden Boy, is a little sprinkle of your golden dust. I believe you've been going well in regards to the punting.
Wednesday night I had 3 bets. I backed Double Show at big odds, which was second, 15-1. Casa Papa. What is it?
Yes, that's
Popper.
it. Yeah.
It should have probably won, ran second, but I found the second winner because he looked the Colourful Prince, is it? Mm-hmm. Colourful Prince? He led, so he was $8 or $9, so I started well and had a good night.
Let's burst out of the gates. We burst out of the gates with Karis Teetan at Sha Tin. Let's go back to Saturday, a treble.
yeah, he's in good form, Karis, and he'll be happy about that. And I'm sure Shane will be as well, given that he rides Starmac in the Derby. But this is a nice horse, Young Champion. I couldn't quite get him as short as the market, but he looked a great chance. And Blue Marlin was unlucky. He got a little bit held up, I thought. But Young Champion, well, Shane, Karis is riding well. And the racing club, of course, this is in the colours of for the Jockey Club. They finally look like they got a nice one. They paid a bit of money for him, I believe, but he's going the right way.
It's good for the Jockey Club because there's so many members, of course, in that. But Karis is going well. He had a quiet patch there for 3 or 4 weeks, Clint, but he rode a horse which I'm going to highlight later, Red Majestic, on Wednesday night really well from gate 12, got it one off the fence. So he's right at the right stage for my Starmac.
So Karis gets a treble there at Sha Tin. Angus Chung with 4 winners across 2 meetings is another start.
Yeah, I think Shane's been harping on how well he's been going for a while, and I think there was certainly a lot of merit to that, but I think he's genuinely improved.
This was some win.
I think it was a plan well laid out from Danny Shum. Blinkers on, down in class, box seated. One of our players got back and I think had excuses, but even if it drew well and had every possible, wouldn't have beat the winner. It was effortless.
Hey, Golden, there's no way you'd win by that far.
No, but he's a kid. He's got to win, you know. But it was impressive, Clint. I had him in my numbers, but I didn't think he would do that. The other thing in that race was a couple of the main chances were always going to get back in the race also. So he had the race set up for him, but he was pretty impressive. He can win in Class 3 on that run.
Yeah, definitely. And familiar colours as well with Bon Ho, who's going to have good chances all across the globe, I think.
That's right. He's got Celestial Legend, one of the favourites in the Doncaster in a couple of weeks' time. He's got Canberra Legend in the Manion Cup on Saturday in Sydney that can bounce back up against another international for William Haggis, who arrives as well. Talking about trainers, Tony Cruz, David Hayes have been to the fore.
Hayes is going well. He's had a good season, a much better season, David, I think, than he had last year. And, Tony Cruz's horses are flying at the moment. Shane, this horse, look, he's been 100 to 1 his last 3. And they took the hood off and he bounced back to his old form. I couldn't find him, but the market did. You know, he was well supported, but what a win.
Well, they found him because of the China trial. He trialled really well in China, but on his previous form he couldn't win. Here's Karis winning on this horse, just kept coming. It was a good win. David Hayes' horses are really going well. Last season he really struggling, but they're getting a tick for me at present, and I'm putting on a couple of points because they are all racing really well.
Yeah, so he's got Karis going nice. He's got Hazy going well. I think we know where Shane's going.
I'm very keen to hear his tip when it comes to the Derby, but keep your powder dry, Golden. Let's have a look at where the trainers and the jockeys are from a championship point of view. So Zach with 80, Karis 54, Huey Bowman 41. Zach off and away. Trainers Premiership really, really interesting, and there's a big clump, isn't it, where we see Danny Shum there at 35, Casper Founds at 34, David Hayes and Tony Cruz 31 and 30.
Yeah, very competitive. Pierre's still well out in front. He's got a good margin. And John Size is going to bridge the gap potentially, but I think, Shane, what we've seen in recent weeks, Pierre has unveiled a couple of young horses that are going to win a few races. So, you know, you often see started well. He probably went through a little bit of a lull, but I wouldn't be surprised if he kicked into gear again late in the season.
The big difference is, Clint, that he doesn't need many winners to win the premiership, whereas the others need a lot of winners to win the premiership. And every time he gets that one winner, the others have to get 2 to 3 winners to catch up. And of course, he's going to have winners with his stable.
Yeah, so we'll keep monitoring that championship and to see how it going down to the line. But there's a big move. Can Pierre hold on? Can he push? We'll find out on Sunday. Should be an absolute beauty. We're talking all about the Derby. That's up next. The road to the Hong Kong Derby and Hutch. Boy, gee, this is going to be so exciting. And the build-up's been intense. We had Nicole Purton into our chat about it with Shane Dye. This will be an absolute beauty. Nicole, welcome. Such a competitive Derby.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you all again. It is. It's an open field, and it's exciting to see who's going to take the crown come Sunday.
And it's especially exciting, I suppose, this year from your point of view as well. Zach looks like he's got a great chance. He usually does, and of course went so close last year, but he's been incredibly consistent in the race and just hasn't landed some of the spoils. But that'd be frustrating from his point of view, but he must be pretty happy with his chances going in this year.
Yeah, he has actually. He's come so close for a number of years. But I did something last year that I never usually do, which is let everyone talk me into winning before we'd actually won. So I don't want to get excited. That's the hard lesson to learn. But no, Massive Sovereign looks like a really nice horse, and yeah, we're very excited to see how he goes.
Before we look at the field, Shane, just tell us from a jockey's point of view, what's it like to ride the 2,000 metres at Sha Tin in the Derby? What's the pressure like?
Well, it all depends what gates, because you haven't got far to the first turn. But in a Derby, you want your horse relaxed and not pulling. That's the first thing. So you've got to decide, if I give him a kick out of the gates, will he pull? Or do I want to come back a bit and get him to relax? And for me, it's just getting a horse into the right position, getting him into a stride. And then you start to think about the race at about the 1,000 metres. Who am I following? Where am I going to go? Do I want to avoid the horses that are stopping? It's no different to most races, except it's the Hong Kong Derby.
But barriers do play a massive part, because, as Shane said, because that short run to the first turn and where the speed is around you, and it's a really interesting map this year, because there's some speed that's drawn high, but the two key chances are early favourites, and here is my market. In Helios Express has drawn 13. Can't see, he'll be going back from there, Hugh. And Galaxy Patch, they would have loved to have drawn a gate with him just to get him buried, smothered. He could have been a lot closer, but I think Blake is now forced to probably go back as well. There are others in there. Look, as far as the market is concerned, well, I can tell you right now that Nicole's going to be wrapped with my market, because I've got Massive Sovereign favourite here, and I don't know if he will be on the day or not, but I thought he's the one to beat now all of a sudden. He hasn't drawn, he's drawn to advantage over Helios and Galaxy Patch, but he's going to get back anyway, 420. Galaxy Patch is a Group 1 horse. I have to still respect him, and I still have to respect Helios Express. He's had that setback. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Starmac about $15. I think the other horse that's real big overs for me is Chilby. Barrier 3 is a big plus for that horse.
Yeah, so when you think about it like this, Shane, Blake Shin draws 14, Huey Bowman draws 13, James McDonald draws 11, Ryan Moore 12, and Zach Purton 10. Unbelievable group of jockeys, all drawing wide. That's going to be a fascinating element.
Well, two of them have to get their horse, well, three actually. It doesn't matter with J-Mac. He'll go forward on his for sure. He'll just press forward. He won't be going back. The other two are interesting, like Galaxy Patch. If he wanted to be up there, he could be, but he's got to relax. He pulled. I've watched his race the other day. He got travelling in the 1400 the other day quite hard down the back. He's got to relax. He's got the right jockey in Blake Sheen. He'll probably have to go back. And, of course, the favourite, that's the worst possible draw for him. I think he's way unders, I should say, in the overseas markets. He's $2 something on the fixed markets overseas. It's just wrong. He should be more. He's a risk in this race from the gate.
And what about Galaxy Patch? So Blake Shin flies up to Hong Kong from Australia at the start of the week to ride him in track work. Shane, were you surprised that Blake was willing to do this? And what are the key aspects that Blake would have been looking for?
Just to get a feel of the horse. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It can only benefit you and help you. It was actually a very good idea because the horse does pull hard. And so Blake just wants to get a feel of him and get to know him a little bit. And it was the best possible thing that he could have done. Galloped him and worked him. Now he knows him a little bit. He would have watched all of his races. He knows that he can pull 200 metres after the start. And Blake's only got one job in the race, and that's to get him to relax early. We all know he's got the ability. He runs quick sectionals. He's run a 21.91 before, which is sensational. So he can break 22. But if he pulls hard, he can't win. He's just got to get him to relax.
Just on that note, unfortunately he's busy today, but we're trying to get Blake on the show. But I did speak to him anyway about Galaxy Patch and the work. He was really happy with the work. and he doesn't feel that he'll over-race. So that's a big positive as far as that's concerned. But he's still going to... I haven't talked, not that we'd talk tactics or anything like that, because I wouldn't be doing that, but I felt that he believes the horse as well and he won't overdo it for him.
Karis Teetan rode him on that occasion.
He did. That was a fantastic run. Wasn't it, Galaxy Patch in that race? He sat back. It didn't really suit. The pattern and the pace really made it difficult for Galaxy Patch, but he's a Group 1 horse. 1,400
metres straight to 2,000, Nicole. I think Karis would have already been pre-committed to Star Mac, and I know you spoke to him leading into the Derby.
Yeah, it probably would have been a hard decision had he had the option, but yes, he was already committed to Star Mac for David Hayes, and I spoke with Karis to find out how he thought the horse was going leading into the Derby.
He's improving the horse. He's taken his races really well, and I think his last gallop was really good. I think we're in a right road for the Derby.
Do you feel his get-back racing pattern is something that is more or less fixed, or could we see something different in the Derby?
Well, he doesn't break too well when the gate opens, so he always sort of gets himself back. So that's a bit of a concern that he gets himself too far back. We can't change anything about that, and we're not gonna go towards the Derby and try to get him out and get him handy, because that hasn't been his racing pattern since he's arrived in Hong Kong. So we're gonna have to ride the race plan, and we're gonna have to ride how he wants to be ridden. And let's just hope the race turn out with some speed this time.
And how highly do you rate this horse?
Yeah, he started with the Classic Mile with the lowest rating, and he was sort of the underdog, but he's proved that he deserved to be there. He deserved a chance, and I think both of those run in the Mile and the Cup was promising towards the Derby, and I think he's crying for the 2,000. So I rate him like a decent chance going towards the 2,000 metre.
Golden Boy, you've been talking about him for many months. Can he win the Derby, Star Mac?
100% he can win. He's the horse that's going to run the 2,000 metres. Now, he doesn't probably have to get back last if he jumps. What you got to remember, I know he misses the start, but he had the blinkers on for the first time last time. And horses normally miss the start with blinkers on for the first time in the gates because they're concentrating on other things, and the gates open, it's a surprise to them, they missed it. He'll be more alert this time, and if he jumps well and can be midfield defence without Karis digging him, geez, he's going to be hard to beat, that horse, because he'll keep coming it. He's got to get him into room at the right time. If he gets held up, well, the race is over. So that's another thing. But I'm happy with gate 1. He'll get back a bit unless he jumps well. And he will run 2,000 metres.
Yeah. Are you surprised Hutch has got him at $15, Golden? What would you have him at?
No, because Hutch had Fallon ahead of him 3 runs ago, and I've watched that race 100 times, and to me, Star Mac was a better run. That's just his opinion. So he's always has this impression that Fallon is a better horse than Star Mac, whereas I'd never, even when Fallon bet Star Mac, had that in my mind. So we've got a different opinion on him. He should be shorter than that, and it wouldn't surprise me if he does, but if he is, but I don't know. What would I know? I'm an ex-jockey.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think, look, I agree with what Shane said about the 2,000. I haven't really rated him much of a chance in the Mile or the Cup. And I think he's run well, but he's clearly looking for the distance. The barrier helps his chances, but he's going to need a little bit of luck at the right time. And I'm not convinced he'll jump well. I think he'll be slow away again and he'll be back and buried inside. So that's going to be a little bit problem. He's going to need to navigate a path, but could be wrong. But I've got to have a few others ahead of him by the same, and we'll talk more about those in a minute.
So, Nick, we get to Massive Sovereign. Now, you've got allegiances, we know that, and it's mainly to us. The Triple Trio is your number 1 priority, your husband's number 2. Declare what he thinks about him, and did we interview him or did we interview the trainer? What did you do?
Yeah, I spoke to Dennis Yip about Massive Sovereign, and I chatted to him about how the horse has come through that stunning first up win.
I think the horse, after last start, he improved a lot. Now I think the form is better than last time, much more. Yeah. So I'm confident he will run well.
And he just galloped? How did he gallop this morning?
Well, he galloped well. Not blowing, just very, very relaxed. He say something by himself. Yeah.
And how confident are you?
I'm very confident he will run very, very well. Having no problem for him.
Oh, that sounds exciting. What about the look on your face, Hutch?
That's what I wanted to hear, because, Shane, it's very hard to win in Hong Kong, firstly on debut, Amazing training effort from Dennis to get him win over 2,000. So he's already ticked that box. He's got the 2,000. You'd hope that he's going to improve the trainer feels that he has. I don't think he really needs to. I think he can hold that form. He's in with a really, really big chance off that effort.
He doesn't have to improve. I would be more happy with him going first up into the race.
Agree.
We saw what he did last time, but no one knew in Hong Kong what he could do. But if you go back and watch his European runs, oh my God, he's a Group 1 horse. His start before that over, I think it was 1,400 it was. Was it 1,400? Yeah, 1,400, just checked. Was amazing. He come from last, Ryan rode him, and he come down the outside, and he definitely looked like a Group 1 horse. He's a horse to beat, but he's got to be ridden quiet. I've watched his runs overseas, and you've got to get him to relax, and you've seen what he did. He's got an amazing finish, that horse, and he's in my top 2, that horse.
And
there's no risk.
And Shane, the barrier I don't think Zach would be worried about that, because he's just going to probably ride him a similar way to what he did last time. Take his time, get him to relax, and let him do the rest.
Oh, 100%. You don't have to go forward on him, that's for sure. You saw that last start. When he wants, and if he reproduces his last run, he'll pick them up when he wants. I know the time was slow last time, Clint, for 2,000. I think they run 2:2:37 or something like that, which is pretty slow. But to me, that's irrelevant. It was the way he travelled at the half mile and come into the race. He's the real deal, and I totally agree with you. He is the horse they've got to beat in the Derby.
I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't read too much into that actual raw time either, because, look, I think the way the track was racing that day, it still rated really well in comparison. So, the track speed was a little bit slow and there were factors, so it was still a good performance. And Nicole, all you got to concentrate now is just keeping it real and not getting too excited about the race.
Yeah, I'm leaving that all to Zach and Dennis. I'll just focus on what I'm wearing, where I'm sitting, what I'm eating, what I'm drinking.
What are you, Nicole,
bring on race 7.
What are you going to wear?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I know you love asking me that, Shane. So I've actually got a white dress covered in diamonds. So let's hope it's sunny and I'm out there sparkling on the day.
Wow.
Real diamonds?
No, I know everybody thinks we're billionaires, but not real diamonds actually this time, Shane.
Wow, that sounds like that is the dress of a winning Hong Kong jockey's wife, isn't it?
Going to be a great...
That's not the dress you wear if you think you're going to come 19th.
Definitely.
You're with me?
Definitely.
No one will, hey, Richo, no one will be looking at Zach in the winning photo.
Absolutely. Hey, Shane, just interesting topic. Do you subscribe to second up syndrome when a horse absolutely flies fresh? Do you get concerned?
100%, and that's my concern with this horse. And that's why I said I wished he was going into it first up, because you know what he can do. Now, if you go through his European runs, he did back up a month in between runs in European and run well. He's 21 days here. But you know what a lot of these European horses are like? They fly first up and they don't go as well second up. So that is the thing that is just holding me back a little. If I didn't have to worry about that, he's way on top, that horse, for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. You even look at the human athletes. They time and time again, first run for the season, they really fly, and then just a little flatter second up, and then start to really...
You never had a dip. What are you talking about? And did you hear what Dennis Yip had to say? The horse as well. He's improved a lot.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I'm just putting it there, man. just hey, chill chubbies, mate. Nicole, let's talk chill chubby.
Yes, I spoke with Jerry Chow and talked about the fact that Chilchibi will be his first ride in a derby.
It's my first derby, and with this horse, it's my like a special horse. I rode him many times, and we connected, and I'm very looking forward.
And I know you galloped him in the last few days. How is he feeling?
He get up good. He definitely improved after the Classic Cup. And he's in the best form now, and I think he got a very competitive chance in the derby. I think the tactics will be like jump, and he will relax the first half, and then we start from there and try to start that's improving, and hopefully he can very close. Yeah.
Nicole, did you feel with Jerry? He's excited, looking forward to it, or there are some nerves? Because I'm hoping he's not feeling the nerves.
No, I didn't feel like any nervous energy from
Yeah.
Jerry. He knows the horse so well. I think he was happy with how the horse ran in the Classic Cup. And, you know, I've spoken to him a few times on and off camera now, and that's him. So I think he's just genuinely excited, and I really like Chilchibi. So,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
I think he's got a great chance in this race. I mean, and the barrier's a big plus.
Yep.
He doesn't need to drag him all the way back, but it sounds like Jerry's just going to jump out and, you know, be very neutral on him, and he'll be probably midfield on the fence, saving the ground. He's going to need luck at a certain time, but his run in the Classic Cup was enormous. He was coming back after a setback. You know, he was very conservative on him. He would have come out of the race well. And of all the sort of chances, and you know, he's the one that gets, I think, a pretty good map here, Shane, because he doesn't have to do any work.
Well, he jumps from 3. Starmac jumps from 1, who's slow away. Elliptical's in between them. He might end up being on the fence in front of Starmac.
He could, and I don't worry about being on the fence so much. It's more so if he's around midfield. I don't think he needs to drag him all the way back, because he jumped actually well, Shane, in the Classic Cup, and you know that first turn he can be neutral on him and not do much, and I think he'll naturally be, you know, a bit handier.
But to win a derby, that was the best thing he did on him last start. That drag him back, just teach him to come back, relax. He didn't want to be 4 or 5 wide, which he was going to be. I wasn't worried about his ride last time. This is different on Sunday. He's going to be midfield fence, and he's a nice horse. His Happy Valley wins were all very good. His only bad one was when he was ridden close, and he hit that flat spot because he was ridden close, but he still run well. He's definitely a chance on his last run, Clint. He's not the worst. The more you go through this field, the more you see horses that you say, geez, if this goes right or that goes right, this could win or run well.
Dan, I got them priced similar in the market. I've got Chilchibi a bit shorter, but I know you like Starmac. We'll have a lunch or a dinner. I'll have Chilchibi versus your Starmac in the market. Are we on?
Yeah, good as gold. That doesn't worry me.
I know the place to go.
There's a place in Brisbane apparently we've got to go up to.
No,
yes, very good.
Lobster mango salad.
Oh, God.
Shane will take us to a place if he wins. You have to fly us over there now. But well and truly worth it. Nicole, can we now pivot towards Car Ying Generation?
Yes, so on Car Ying Generation, I spoke with Andrea Razzeni to find out what he thought about the horse's run in the Classic Cup.
It was very hard to judge him on that run because we actually had a very good draw in 4. But the only issue with him, he hasn't got a lot of gate speed, and he wasn't the quickest out of the gates. And I was planning to sit forward in the race, but he was slow out of the gates and got a bit of a bump early on, and I was further back than I would have liked. And obviously the tempo of the race was very slow, which it didn't suit me at all, because as a horse that one thing he has, he's got stamina, he stays very well, and it was just a non-event. And then when the pace quickened, he just struggled for a little bit of a turn of foot, and he stayed on okay, but like I said, I think we should ignore his last run.
We saw him run his best race in Hong Kong, chasing a hot speed. Are aggressive tactics early something you might consider employing with him?
Yes, like I said, the plan last time was definitely to be forward. Not obviously necessarily to lead the race, but to be handy away. And hopefully this time I can get him out of the gate a little bit better. And the plan will definitely be to see as close as we can to the pace, because like I said, one thing it does too, he gets the distance very well. So that's an advantage that hopefully we can try to use, and hopefully tactics will change this time.
He's a real key run in this race, Shane, because he's won over further than 1.5 miles, of course, overseas. He will stay. And if we've seen him, of course, win over 2,000 metres in Hong Kong, and that was a brutal test. What do you think they'll do here, and can he take advantage of that low gate? And if he can, do you think that Andrea will really want to put the pedal to the metal here?
Well, as you and the show knows, I'm big on sectionals. The day he won over 2,000 metres, he ran 24.02 for his last 200 metres. So that's walking, right? That's not very fast. But they went quick in that race, and that's why they had to. He's definitely going forward. He needs a fast run race where a lot of these horses can't run the 2,000 metres. If it's a sprint home, he cannot win. He's got no hope. So he'll go forward on him. The only problem with he's got a good gate 4, but the 2 horses directly outside of him will push forward early on, I would think, and try and clear him. So he's got to really dig a little bit early to hold his spot. But he needs a fast run race. I wouldn't be surprised if he's off on him at the 600 or 700, because if it's a sprint home, he cannot win, Clint. He's got no hope.
Who have you got leading, Shane?
Well, that's a good question. I wouldn't be surprised if he led, or Chinchini Prince, or whatever his name. Glory, is it Chinchini Glory, or whatever his name is? He could lead, or him. But there's actually Beauty Crescent. He could go forward.
I think they've said that. Yeah, I'm not sure Beauty Crescent will go forward. I mean, the key runners here from the drawn wide, Richo and Shane, I thought that Chan Cheng from gate 9, Helene Feeling, and if Ka Ying jumps well, he'll press on from that low gate. And then Seuds are the other one. There's those 4 key runners, they all want to go forward. So 3 of them have drawn high as well. So there is some early pace in the race.
So Insured could go forward. The jocks won't let Ryan Moore lead and dictate the tempo.
No, I think he'll probably try and get 1-1 here, and he'll want to follow J-Mac in the race.
Okay, the build-up has been intense. Very keen to get everyone's selections. Hutch, apparently you've written here that you go first.
I go first?
Yeah.
Shouldn't ladies go first?
No, apparently you go first.
Oh, okay.
You say, I need to go first.
I'm with Massive Sovereign. I think he's got a great chance. I like the fact he's won 2,000 metres. I think second up's no issue. I'm not a massive believer in the second up syndrome. I will trust what Dennis Yip had to say, and I think he's got a great chance. Galaxy Patch is a Group 1 horse, but gee, it's a difficult assignment from where he's drawn. I'm big on Chilby. I'm hoping we'll get, I think on the tote he might be a fair bit bigger than that, but I've got him around $9. I can't completely write off Helios, but we need to talk a little bit about the favourite as well. He had the quarter crack and a foot infection. He's drawn awkwardly now, and he goes back, and it's going to be tough for Hugh from out there. So he's still a class act. I've got a lot of time for him, but it just makes it tough.
Yeah, it certainly does make it tough. Nicole, how did you line them up? But trying to put, bias aside, who do you think? Well, maybe I can just ask you, outside of Zach, who's the hardest to beat?
Well, just before I go on to that, I did speak with Hugh Bowman actually about Helios, so I'll let you know what he had to say. He said I was delighted with the courage he showed to win the Classic Cup. This horse has an exceptional turn of foot and just needs a smooth run in transit. Obviously, he wanted a good barrier, which didn't happen, drawing 13. But he's very confident about Helios Express's Derby prospects, and it's certainly shaping up as a very interesting contest. So I must admit, I've left him out for both the lead-up races, and I've been made to look foolish. So I have him in, regardless of the injury cloud that has been over him. I also like Galaxy Patch, Chilchibi, and I really like Ensued. But I just think, I agree with both you, Clint, and Shane for different reasons. I think the barriers have really, put a, what's the saying? They've just thrown things into disarray, but also it's going to depend on the pace of the race. And I think it's a more open contest than what was originally thought. But anyway, they're my selections, and
I like it.
See.
Totally agree with you. I think there's so many new, challenges for him, and as a result, I'm sure the tote price will drift. And what we've been seeing, Shane's touched on fixed markets around, but I'm sure that he'll open up as a favourite, and people will take him on.
Yeah. And it's at what price point do you reckon? I mean, I'm against Helios mainly because of that issue that he's had, but gee, I was against him last start too, and he's been too good. But
so he gets $7. Suddenly you're interested because you've marked him at 6.
Yeah, I will, because I mean, you've got to still respect him. But Shane,
what do you like?
Sticking with Starmac.
I'll tell you what I noticed then. I thought Nicole was a lovely, nice lady. But did you see when she said Helios Express had gate 13? She smiled. A smile on her face. There was no disappointment in her face at all. It was just a bright glow.
Listen, don't worry. We didn't draw much better, so I can't.
Yeah, but you've got
nobody wants to draw out wide, but
no, that's a perfect gate for you. That's a good gate. There's nothing wrong with gate 10. Trust me on that horse. What do I like? I think he's a big risk, and I've been saying that for weeks, over 2,000 metres if he draws wide. He's got the right jockey on him. He'll have him relaxed somewhere, and you've got to remember he can quicken, and that's what wins a lot of derbies. You see a horse like that, Ryan Moore. You know what?
Ping High Star.
High Star, he was 4 lengths last, relaxed, but he just quickened at the right time and won. He might have to do something like that, I don't know, but he's got John Sires training him, and he's very good on form, and he'll give him the perfect instructions. What have I got? I've got Massive Sovereign and Starmac. Simple as that.
Yep. Okay, so you've got 7 ahead of 14.
And we've got a dinner on, or a lunch.
And we've got a lunch.
Chilby versus
Starmac.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I think Ryan Moore with Insured can run really, really well.
Gets a good run. So you're with Ryan?
I'm with my man Ryan.
Okay.
I think he's in for some sort of a weekend.
Just
Just
it
quite
runs the 2,000 metres too.
What's that?
We know that. Strong.
Yeah, he'll see the 2,000 out, no problem.
No doubting that. Nicole, while we've still got you, give us some more news. Ben Thompson's making a bit of an impact.
Yeah, it was good to see him get a winner on Career Magic for Jamie Richards on Wednesday night. But it's just been announced that he has had his licence extended from April 5th to May 1st.
Oh, okay.
So it's nice to see he and Steph are around a bit longer.
Oh, that's right. Have you taken Steph under your wing at all?
Yeah, we had a dinner on Tuesday night, which was myself and a few of the girls got out on the town. And then I did a workout with Steph last Saturday. Woo! Please show me up.
Yeah, that might have been a mistake. You're coming off an injury and she's a former elite athlete.
Yeah. Well, I've conveniently forgotten to follow up our date today of getting back in the gym. No, it's nice having them here. So I'm happy to hear that they'll be staying a bit longer.
Oh, that is great news. G1 Goldmine, if we cast the lens, that's probably the final piece in the puzzle in regards to the analysis of the Derby.
Yeah, well, the Derby selection's them unbelievable. The highly touted import who just hasn't done much in 2 starts, but will stay very well bred. They're suggesting Helios Express, according to their analytics, will run a big race. Chilby, and we know Car-Ying Generation stays as well. So as far as pedigrees are concerned, and Group 1 Goldmine, we love their support on the show. And hopefully anyone who bought those horses at the sale last week used their fantastic program to help them along the way in purchases. That's how they think the Derby will run, according to pedigrees.
Nicole, I don't know how early you get up to look with that beautiful wave that you've put together through the hair.
Yeah.
Thank you to our hair and makeup department.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't wake up like this. I would love to brag if I did. You probably wouldn't recognise me. I should be done for fraud. But I'm going to look very dressed up. I'm actually heading out to Bees River to ride my horse for the first time today. So they'll think that I'm really I hope nobody gets used to me looking like this at Bees River, because it shan't be happening going forward.
Well, that's great news that you're physically back in a condition to do that. As always, we love your input on the show. Thanks for all the great interviews, and good luck to Zach too.
Thank you. All right, enjoy Derby weekend, guys.
Fantastic. Wonderful to have Nicole Purton. That's our full look at the Hong Kong Derby. What a feature it is going to be. All right, let's launch into Sweet in Defeat.
They're off, and Sugar missed the start by 4 lengths. Then Dublin Star, Sugar fast buck, smart leader. Oversubscribed, lunges at the post, missed. Sugar, that's a sweet win for Alfie Chan.
Our black bookers here on the Triple Trio are called Sweet in Defeat. Who jumps in?
We have a handful from the last week, Richo. A couple of them we actually played, but look, I thought Crazy Treasure for Ben Thompson ran well. They drew awkwardly, went back, ran on really well, good closing sectionals. The Absolute was first up, and I thought he just peaked on his run late. He's a nice horse. He's only had a handful of starts in Hong Kong. Wind Cheater, mistake, Harry. He missed a start. Did what you shouldn't be doing and over. I understand why he went forward with instructions, but when you miss it like that and used him up early, it's really, really cost him, I thought, late in the race. And the other one, of course, was Casa Papa, Shane. And Casa Papa was a great run, I thought, at the Valley, given that he was back and wide and had to sort of run on. I thought it was, with excuses, a very good run from this horse.
Yeah, even though he's never won in Hong Kong, this season he's had a heap of unplaced runs. He's been going really good. I actually backed him, one of my few bets. I thought he could win, but he got going on him a little bit soon, but he put him into a good position. But I don't know if he would have won if he had sat back. Clint, what did you think?
No, I think I didn't mind him sort of allowing...
I didn't mind him going forward, actually.
No, it was just a good run in defeat. I think the way the race was unfolding, I like the way that he was creeping forward because they were starting to back off a little bit. I think it was a fair enough move. It was just, what else could he do? So, no, I thought it was a pretty good run. I just feel like he's ready to win one, so I think he's worth following.
I'd love to see the percentages advantages, though, of when they're trying to make ground 3 wide without cover, the ones that actually can.
It's hard, but he would have had no chance if he had stayed back as well. So at least he had a throw at the stumps. You like a throw at the stumps.
I know, but I've got the rule book, and it's got the RS die rule book, and that is cut the corner and ride for luck, and if you're a good thing beaten, so be it. So I would have tried to find a way in, go all the way back, and then cut through. Shane Dye style.
You changed your tune, Richo. I remember that days, and I'll bring it up again. I'd rather be 100 wide and go round them and get through.
Well, you've educated me, mate. Don't get your head wobble about the fact that I'm now listening to you.
Okay. One of the few.
Oh, too good. So we got 4 runners to jump in to the Sid file. So put them in and follow them when they run next. Genius or Slaughter?
The end across, answering the urgings of Shane Dye. Mannerism coming at him. Mannerism has got it.
Daring tactics by Shane Dye. He's got Octagonal in full flight on the corner. Bold tactics by Shane Dye are going to pay off, and he pinches the Chipping Norton.
Genius or Slaughter in your hands, Golden Boy. What did you like?
Well, I love this on Wednesday night from Karis. He drew gate 12, 1650, a bad start. And it's always hard to get in here on the C+3 because you haven't got far to the first bend. But he just comes back here, and before you know it, he comes across and he ends up midfield, 1 off the fence, on a horse that can lead. But if he had pressed forward, he would have been 4 or 5 wide going up there, and he couldn't have won. It was a very good ride. He stayed there, and he actually beat Casa Pumper. We can cut now he's never moved on it, to the straight. He brings it up, brings it out at the top of the straight and gets home and wins. This was a very good ride, Clint.
Yeah, great ride. And incredibly, this horse, Red Majesty, I believe this was his 9th win over the Valley Mile. He's an ageing galloper, but he's called that his own, the Valley Mile, so he loves it there. And, when he's right and he gets the right run, he's hard to beat.
And from a Slaughter point of view, surely we've touched on it.
Oh.
Surely rule 1A, isn't it, Shane? If you miss the kick.
Okay, gate 11, watch Harry here. This is a no-no, but it's actually, I want you to watch the gate. See his horse's head? It's turned to the side.
Yeah.
He should never have let the gates go, the starter. He couldn't jump. His horse was on his head was on the side. Have a look there. See there? And he's got hold of him, and then boom, he can't. But the one thing you do not do is go forward, and he digs him. He's on a young horse. He's only had 2 or 3 runs. He lets him run. He runs a fast time, and you don't know anything about him. He could have been ridden back last, and he probably wins the race, but you learn about the horse. Now, that's number 1 he's done wrong. Number 2 is, in all my career, everyone can go and watch every race. I don't think I ever led in a race 1 off the fence. That is the worst position in a race. 1 off in front. That's a no-no. So what he should have done was just gone to the fence or come back and sat half a length behind the other horse. You never, ever, ever lead 1 off the fence. That's just a no-no. That is as big as missing the start, and it's not the jockey's fault for missing the start. That happens, but digging up after you miss the start. This horse here, Clint, run enormous.
Yep.
And he went he might be better than I think he is. But I don't think, Clint, you'll see this horse for a while. I know Mark, he's trained horses for me. He'll give him a break, this horse, after a run like that, because that could wreck the horse.
Yeah, look, it was a great run. I thought he ran extremely well. I mean, he's still a big chance here, and he just gets tight as he's entitled to. But 2 things, 1400 was not a problem. And everything you said, Shane, particularly when he was going up to 1400 as well. Like, if he missed the start, just ride him back. And I think he might have even been more impressive had that been the case. So, look, I understand with Harry, didn't jump that well. And I understand, that can happen. The starter can't have eyes on 14 horses. So, just unfortunate that he's missed the kick there. And I think that... Harry's trying to carry out the instructions as well, but in those instances, as a senior jockey, you got to go, look, I missed the start. I've just got to be.
Head was on the side. We missed the start. We had to go back, but
it's
easy from here.
Mark rode a lot of winners, He was a jockey, Mark. He understands that, right?
Yeah.
And he would tell you the rule number 1 is when you miss the start, my instructions go out of the window and you ride them quiet. So that was that. Now, Clint, I want to show you something which is very interesting, and this is with Angus. Yep. This is Outgate, and I'm going to put 4 shots, and I'm going to ask you a question. Now, up the top is Sha Tin. That's the head on with the whip. I want you to watch him with the whip, how strong he is. Down the bottom is no whip at Happy Valley. And watch him, he's hardly hitting him, and he's trying to do the Felix Hutchi and the Tony Cruz, switch the hands and all that, right? Now, I'm going to ask you a question. The top one, if he hadn't hit him, would he won? Wouldn't have won.
No,
would he have won if he hadn't hit him?
No.
No possible way he would have won if he hadn't hit him. He had to hit him to win. That was really good. Now the second question, if he had hit him down the bottom, would he have won?
He went early. I think it was a bigger issue when he took off, but I would have liked one or two just gentle reminders. That would have helped.
I know. I'm not saying he would have because I don't know. Because when a horse is tiring, you hit them, sometimes they can stop.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up, Shane, because we did show we were on him at the Valley, and I'm not sure whether when I watched the replay, I felt at the time that he thought, I don't want to go for him because I think I'm going to win anyway, and I could see him sort of gathering his reins in, and
why not?
And I don't know if he was going to be unbalanced himself if he went for it. He thought, I don't want to lose that momentum, but I was disappointed he didn't sort of
hit him. See, I know what happened that night at Happy Valley. 2 races earlier, he was on a leader going slow, and Zach took off at the Rock from back and stole the race. And he would have been told, whatever you do, don't let anyone get up and around you. You got to go sooner than wait, so someone like Zach can't get going. He won on a Class 5 horse and gave it a really good ride that night, Zach. I forget what it was, but he beat him. Or Class 4 horse, I should say, that night it was.
I've got to say as well, when he did get the Persuader out, some of the apprentices, they can lose their balance a little bit. He looked pretty good there. So
Clint, I brought that up a month ago, how strong he is. He's really strong and good. I love him when he uses a stick, and he actually lifts them. And he did it on Smart Beauty in the Class 5 at Sha Tin one day when he was back last and he ran on. He lifted him over the line, and I pointed it out that day. And that's a plus to him.
Oh, interesting insight there from an idol point of view.
Pretty easy. There's not a lot of points this week. I think Karis gets 3 for the 4 winners. I think Angus gets 3. And I know Andreas, this was favourite or second favourite, but he gave it a beautiful ride from gate 9. He just come out of the gates. He didn't bustle him. He come back a little bit, got in 5th, one off the fence, cruised up, did everything right. And I thought, I backed this horse, but I thought that Luke gave this a very good ride. He committed out of the gates, and he really committed which you got to do from an outside gate in 1,000 metres. And he got across and led, and he's so good on leaders, Luke, and he just let it run at the right time, and he was too good. And I'm taking 2 points off Harry because you did 2 things you cannot do in a race.
No, I agree.
That's fair.
And he's been riding well too.
He has been riding well. I think Harry's
just got it wrong.
Generally been going really well, but we've said enough about that anyway.
Leaderboard, and it is jam-packed now. We've got joint second place getters, and also now Avdullah's joined by Angus Chung on 17. So Zachary's out in front at the moment, but only leads by 6.
Yeah, it's not...
it's not over.
And not insurmountable.
Oh, of course not.
And there's a lot of votes up for grabs. So, the most valued prize in racing is very open.
That's right.
Boys, I am unpredictable.
That's true.
I could do anything.
You might give 9 votes one week.
I tell you what, if Karis wins the Derby, it'll be plus 10.
Oh, that's right.
He could be in front. So,
Karis from 1 on Starmac weaving through there, a little 10-pointer. Beautiful work. Let's talk all things global racing. Let's talk global racing, and from a Champions Day point of view, the entries are in, Hutch, and there's some representation from around the globe.
As there always is. Let's hope that we get a few from Australia that will put their hand up and go. But these are some of the names that have been entered. A Tissue, Brightside, flying at the moment. Lindemann, Chris is well represented. I wonder if Komochi. Do you reckon Komochi's any chance?
No, I think Kovalika is the perfect horse to go up for a Champions Mile or also the 2,000 metres. And Lindemann would be also the perfect, apart from Brightside, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So these are just some of the names. They had a great set of entries actually globally. I think they had a number of Group 1 winners, and entries is one thing, but actual getting in the race is another. What a race this was, Richo. The All-Star Mile, and gee, it was a great race. Pride of Jenny. She's establishing herself as a star, beating Brightside, who was awkwardly drawn, and they ran some time, and the form came through. But just on Pride of Jenny as well, that was only his second run. Kieran Marr successful, Declan Bates riding. But just wanted to note as well, Group 1 Gold Mine is used by, and I thought this was an interesting tweet from Tony Otobre, that he uses the Group 1 Gold Mine with all his purchases, and he's a prominent owner. Brilliant. He's got a really nice horse with Pride of Jenny. She's going to win plenty of Group 1s.
Oh, she's an absolute beauty. She's, of course, a mare by Pride of Dubai. So he decided to go that way. Hey, we're going to see Victor the winner in Japan. He's going to be up to it.
Yeah, I think he can be.
Yeah. It's a challenge, though, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, Group 1 races in Japan are elite.
They are. I think the sprint ranks Hong Kong will hold their own. They've had a lot of success there. They had success there with not their top liners in the past. Ricky, you took one over and managed to win. Aero Velocity's gone over and won as well. I think he's a kind of horse, Shane, that needs to probably draw a gate. I don't think he necessarily has to lead, but he's got to draw a gate where he can bounce and be in the first 3 or 4 without having to do work. He's not the kind of horse that I think can do too much early work.
I don't know how strong the field is, Clint, so I can't help anyone there. But they do go quick in the races over there in Japan. They always go quick. So he's got to be up there somewhere, and whether he can win, I wouldn't know.
Well, a place that you do know plenty about is the Golden Slipper at Rose Hill, because no jockey in the history of the race has won the race on more occasions than you have.
He's still got the. He's a bit of the. Is he the Tom Brady of the slipper?
Mate, please.
Right.
Mate, how dare you not know that? And B,
I didn't know. I'm just pumping his tyres.
The king. Let's talk about. Look at his head. Just shaking your. Who would you like to be riding in this year's edition of the Slipper?
I think there's only 3 chances, being Storm Boy, Switzerland, and Lady of Camelot. Yep. Lady of Camelot definitely should have won the Blue Diamond. He went too soon on it, and it trialled the other day and looked really good. This is Storm Boy with James on him a week ago, track work at the races. Oh, he looks so good. He's going to get a beautiful run. He's going to get a beautiful run. But what a story how she sold him. It's one of the greatest stories in racing of all time, I think, Richo. Like putting it on a float, taking it an hour and a half away from Sydney to Penrith, and taking it to a pub and parading it and selling it at the pub. It's quite amazing. Who would have ever thought or done that? No one but Gay.
That's right.
Of all the days I didn't go to the pub.
Hey? Bugger.
There was a good chance too.
Mate, the vision that we've got filmed on a phone of her just talking about that. Come and check out this boy. He's a magnificent colt. He's a precocious colt.
Oh, well, you could not get involved that way, could you?
Of course.
Especially if you've had a few.
Yeah, correct. Hey, Shane, I mean, what we've seen, I mean, you've been there and done it time and time again. We see those overdeveloped 2-year-olds that just physically have an advantage. I mean, my mind goes to Marauding, who probably looked more like a 5-year-old when I was a young guy watching it, as opposed to a 2-year-old. Physically, Storm Boy looks far superior to the others.
Well, I get in this argument all the time. They say Golden Slipper winners don't come back as good and all that crap. That's a load of rubbish. And I know they don't come back as good. It's because they're such good 2-year-olds. They are superstar 2-year-olds. The more developed, the faster. But then they come back as 3 and the others have grown more and they catch up to them.
Correct.
You know, that's what happens. It's not that they've lost their ability or they're going bad. It's that the rest grow and catch up. Why are they so good at 2? They're developed. And that. I have that argument all the time, Richo, but he looks a beautiful horse. Switzerland looks a little bit weak, is smaller, but he can still win. He's going to be midfield to back off the pace. He can't be there. If he's up there, he's got no hope of winning Switzerland. They know that. They'll ride him midfield, and he's the one that could get home. But Lady of Camelot, she's got a lot of pace. She's going to be right there. She's got the 2 kilos off the other 2 horses, and she's going to be out of trouble, and she can kick and run time. But if you want to be on one, you've got to be on Storm Boy. He's done nothing wrong, Richo.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's who Shane had, right? And
it's hard.
He's highlighted 3. I think Lady of Camelot's got a great chance in the race.
Oh, I think Storm Boy's the one they have to beat. I think Shane summed it up. I think they'll run the Cornell, the 2 good colts. She'll be really hard to catch. If you're looking for a complete blowout, both Bodyguard, who was underdone last start, and also Traffic Warden might be able to slip into the first 3 or 4 at about 50 to 1. But
geez, Richo, you're getting good at this. I've only got one roughie in the race, and it was Bodyguard. There's three good chances and one roughie, and you found it. Mate, I'm taking my hat off to you. You're really improving my books. You're going right up.
And trust me, I need a hat and I need to improve in your books. So I appreciate...
No, just say one quick thing. I know we're running out of time. Espionage. If he gets in the race, he's definitely a chance and can win. Espionage.
A couple of $1,000 out from being in the race, and then he would have actually been uber competitive.
Yeah.
Another discussion point. From a World Pool point of view, who we absolutely love, next week, Super Saturday, absolutely fantastic. So if you're in Australia and you want to bet into the World Pool, you need to be watching Channel 7 because they do both Melbourne and in Sydney, and then roll in to Dubai World Cup.
What a day.
Oh,
what a day.
I desperately need to go to that event, but it's a bad timing.
We'll get you there. We will get you there. And of course, there's Hong Kong representation. We've got Spangle and Sight Success in the Al Quoz, and in the Dubai Turf, we've got Voyage Bubble, Straight Aaron.
Best chance of those?
Voyage Bubble in the 1800.
Yeah,
I would have thought is the best chance. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, it should be an absolute beauty over there. So, all right, let's find some other winners on Sunday at Sha Tin. Sunday, Derby Day, full analysis on Hutchi's Honkers, but just tease us a little bit. Give us race 5.
Yeah, well, it's a good race, the fifth event. And of course, we mentioned David Hayes is going well, as is Karis Rising. I've got him marked $2.80. I think he may be a little shorter, but Call Me Glorious, of course, for Francis Lloyd, won on debut, up in grades. Got a big good chance, $5.20 in my early rated price. Prawns 11, a last start winner for Mark Newnham, is in the game, has the advantage of a good draw. Got him around $7. I may shorten him in a little bit closer to race day once I see some liquidity in markets. But Karis Rising, this wasn't a big margin, Shane, but I thought it was a good win. It was a bit of a sit and sprint. Inside rails was good, and he just keeps winning his horse. He's very nice. It's just a tricky draw and more weight on the weekend.
Yeah, he's had 4 runs, 2 wins, 2 seconds and gone well. This was a little bit of a surprise, but it pulled the start before and it backed it up quickly and, of course, responded with a strong winner. It was impressive.
Yeah,
Once again, it's got gate 1. It's going to get a perfect run. The only problem is it's gone up 12 pounds, which is a lot of weight on its last win, but definitely a chance.
Yeah, we've got to assess him probably on that run because you mentioned about him being keen to start prior. They put the crossover noseband and the tongue tie on him for that win. And when they put those pieces of gear on, Shane, and they really elevate in terms of their performance, I think that's the one that we have to respect. And look, of course, we haven't mentioned the rail position. The last time we were in the True, it was actually an on-pace and inside track. Normally, we'd be expecting you can run on. I'm hoping just for an even track, but he should get a good run, that horse, Prawns 11.
Who do you like, Shane?
Yeah. I think Call Me Glorious at the weights has got a very good chance. The 3 that Clint mentioned are the 3 that are in the market and are the ones to beat in it. The roughie in the race that could go a bit better is Go Win with Yui on. It's not the worst.
Yeah,
it could go a bit better.
He was unlucky, Goko, when last start, ran into a lot of traffic, and I think he might be playing the race if he comes up the right sort of price.
We'll be gasping for air after the Derby race 7, but we'll need a winner in race number 8.
Let's hope we're celebrating. Let's hope we are celebrating, and by all means, we'll probably be at the pub, so Gabe, feel free to come down and join us and offer us another horse. Invincible Sage, I think. Flying Ace, How Deep Is Your Love, and Nervous Witness. A stack of speed in this race. They are going to go very quick. I want those horses that are sitting back and can run. And I keep Invincibles. How Deep Is Your Love was great ride here from Brenton. Got votes from Shane, rightly so. Good win. He's up in, it's a harder race for him. Invincible Sage, I love this one. You can see he's just back. He's been dictated to a little bit in where he can run. I'd be forgiving a Flying Ace, Shane. 3 deep was a horrible spot that day. It was hard to cover ground. And he is really well weighted in this event, Flying Ace, compared to a few others that he's met. And if he gets that normal A track where he can run on, I think you'll see a lot of those positions potentially reverse. But I'm hoping that Invincible Sage will be a bet for me on the day. I think he'll be in an each way price, and I think he's going all right.
I've got him on top, definitely. He's racing very well, Clint. He's only got the 122 pounds. He'll get back a bit. At gate 4, he might be midfield. but he's better off the pace, and you're 100%. They're going to go fast here. So he's going to hit the line and be very hard to beat. So I've got him on top from How Deep Is Your Love and then Flying Ace probably. But there's a lot that can place in that race, Clint.
There are, but
there's a few.
But look, Dromberg likes to lead, WizKid likes to lead, WizKid, big risk 1200, and Nervous is going to burn them all off. Those horses that are going to be on speed, I actually think Nervous Witness is probably the best of them, and he could run a cheeky race. I mean, if it's an evenish track and the inside's not inferior, he might be there for a fairway too.
That's a question I've always wanted to ask you, Shane. How deep is your love?
Please.
A little bit of Bee Gees action. It's right in his wheelhouse.
Wasn't that a Bee Gees song?
Yeah, absolutely. Please don't sing it. The very best for the weekend. Hutchin, of course, a reminder, hutchyshonkers.com. Hopefully you might be watching us hopefully on 7+ or through a link with Hutchie's Honkers. Hopefully you subscribe to Derby.
Yeah, make sure you get involved. We're going to have a good weekend, I think. I love the undercard in Hong Kong. And we're going to kick off, I think, with a very good chance. So my best, I believe that in the first event, Geneva, very unlucky last start, missed the kick. Both runs have been good. Ready now. Hugh Bowman, tick. Good barrier, tick. And a very progressive horse. And single Quinella, I think Bowman and Purton can cue the opening event. He's on Must Go Zach. My Derby plays early. Well, I think Chilby, Massive Sovereign, those are the two that I want to be on. And I think each way. I mean, I'm hoping he's an each way price, Invincible Sage. He wouldn't want to be too short, competitive race, but he'll be running on, he'll be ridden, he'll be bottled up and hopefully brought late. And I thought he could run a bit of a race.
Love it. Golden Boy, pen is poised.
I don't think it's a hard day on Sunday. There's a lot of shorties that look like winning, like the thing in the first should win that Clint said. I thought that the two that I like will go we'll go one other before this, but Loyal Bobo will jump, lead and be very, very hard to run down. Very impressive the other day. His trial since then has been excellent. But I think we go on to race 2, Sky Heart. 1400's going to suit. It's a very weak race. It's not strong, and he looks like a horse who's going to win in Class 3 or even Class 2 maybe. So I'll go Sky Heart into Loyal Bobo.
Yep. Hey, Shane, just with Loyal Bobo, you mentioned his work. He really improved his last run. Gee, it was impressive.
Very.
He'd always shown a little bit. Do you think, was there any particular reason why the other day? Because the market was very strong on him as well. What was the reason for the turnaround? Just needed a bit of race experience?
Well, last start, the turnaround was 1400 and he was going to lead. And computer teams don't care whether the horse can run. If they're a 1200 metre horse, it doesn't matter that it's 1400 as long as it's going to lead, right? They love leaders. So he was back for 2 reasons. He had an outside gate. I think he drew 13 or 14 the outside, which is a plus, a huge plus on a leader. So that's why the computer teams hit him big. Outside gate, leader, on his own, so they bet, but he backed it up too. Now, I remember Zach saying in an interview one day that he was a Class 1 horse. Remember before his first run?
Yep.
He had 2 horses to pick and he picked the wrong one, I think, and he went this one, and this one was disappointing. Maybe Zach might be right, but all this horse wanted was 1400 and let it run, whereas 1000 you can't do that, or 1200. So Zach may be right, but I thought he was very impressive. But he's had a trial since then, Clint, and his trial was excellent too.
Yep, that's good.
Golden Boy, look forward to chatting to you on Derby Day somehow. Hopefully we're celebrating and talking about dinners, etc. after a wonderful day. Good luck.
Do I owe you a dinner or something at present, Richo?
Yeah, you do. You certainly do.
What was that for?
Just for being me.
You boys have to remind me because I forget things.
That's right. Actually, it was 2 dinners.
I won't forget. I'll be remembering. And I'm looking forward to it.
Mate, good luck.
Good luck. Good punting, Shane. Best of luck on the weekend.
Yeah. Good luck, everyone. Hutchyshonkers.com is the website to jump on, subscribe and enjoy what's going to be a great day. It is Derby Day in Hong Kong.